morning. It is the first event of 2016 for the Wild Carp Club of Ontario, and we are back at the Canadian Centre for Inland Waters. If you recognize the background, you realize that I drew pretty much the same peg as the last time we were here. This time it's peg 14, but I am, of course, the furthest away from everyone else. So the whole crowd is all up to this side and up the bank. But getting the bait in, getting things ready, it's going to be a fun day. Well, it's time to get our lines in, and I'm lucky enough I've got a few people next to me in peg 13. I think it's Jacob and Stacy, so I guess everybody's casting in, and I've already had 2 fish show out in front of me here, so let's get at it. Well, update time. It is 10 to 9 this morning. The sun is just breaking out from the clouds, and we've got a mess of anglers here. It's great. Good turnout today. And we've had some fish rising here, but apparently they're rising other places as well. So it looks like it's anybody's game, and I don't know who it was, but over at the far end near the start of the pegs, we just got word that a carp was caught, 18 pounds, 2 ounces. Again, don't know who it was, but great job. It's a great way to start. Funny enough, the starter event last year, the first fish that was caught that Zach got was an 18 as well. So really happy that somebody's caught and that we've got the game started. Hoping that the next one comes here. Jacob had a little bump on his just a few minutes ago, about the same time that fish was caught. So I think they're starting to move around. That sun's going to warm this shallow bay up, and hopefully things should get rocking for us. I think I'm going to fire off a few more boilies and hope for the best. So another update now. It is 9:30. It was Rick who managed to catch that 18-pounder just a short time ago. So like I said before, great job for them over there. In peg 2, I believe he is. And wouldn't you know it, just a few minutes ago they got another fish over there. I'm not sure if it was the same one, same guy, or the same peg, but they did just release another fish out there. If you follow the Wild Carp Club event on Facebook, the updates are all going on the page there. So I'm just waiting for that update, and then I'll find out what's happening. So I figured if 2 fish are caught over there, starting to warm up here a little bit, time for a recast. So started the recast, and now it's a matter of, if the slight adjustment to my tactic will make a difference. talk a little bit more about the rigs and the tactic later. But as for right now, yeah, Jacob and I are both just done our recast. Gonna get a little bit more bait out. Hopefully the fish will come down our way. If it doesn't happen till the afternoon, it doesn't happen till the afternoon. That's when I caught here last time. It was late in the day. If the fish are on, the fish are on. I want to get in on that action. So hopefully things will pick up. Not sure if you can see those geese out there. That's about where I'm fishing. Just past where those geese are. I'm just out there. Lots of activity. Everybody's running around, so who knows what's happening. So we're at about lunchtime now. The sun has gotten a lot warmer, but the wind has also picked up, so we've still got a cool breeze. So I'm about to just do a recast, but I want to change my rig as well. I want to get a fresh bait out there. So what I've got is, today I'm actually using some pre-tied rigs, and I've got an 18 mil boilie soaked in a certain flavor. I won't say what yet. And then I have half of a pop-up corn on there, just to give it that added bright attraction out in this clear water, as well as, I don't know, I just like having a pop-up piece on there. Half of it's not going to change the buoyancy much, but I think it's just a good idea to have on there. With a blowback rig styled setup on the hook there. And with that, I'm casting it out with PVA bag. Now, half of it is ground bait, and the other half, back here, is a crushed up bait cloud ball. So the idea is, I've got the ground bait there on the bottom. The crushed up bait cloud will fizz off and then leave that scent kind of as a nice big cloud around the ground bait. So if it's flying above, or if the fish are swimming above where my hook bait is, that scent will draw them down, get their noses in on the ground bait, and then boom. That's the plan. So there's only been the 2 fish caught so far, both from Peg 2, Rick and his son, the 18 and then the 14 as well. No fish since then. That was an hour or 2 ago. But I like this spot here. This is where I've caught before, and I like to think it's an afternoon spot. So just before noon hits, I'm gonna get this changed up and get it back out there, and hopefully crank one out this afternoon. A lot of anxious anglers, everybody hoping to catch. first event of the season. It's exciting. Everybody's having a good time. Nice big social atmosphere like before. You know, I'm really glad I'm starting my second season with them. It's been great fishing with them during the off season as well. You know, it's pretty easy to make friends with this group. Well, I just noticed something a little bit interesting I didn't expect. Having put some crushed up bait cloud chunks out in that little PVA bag, what I didn't anticipate would be that I could see a disturbance on the surface. Knowing that it would bubble up, yes, I would expect bubbles. But where the wind is coming through, it actually made like a clear slick. So I know I've seen other anglers use like oils and pellets and stuff like that in their mixes when they've cast out, and it leaves a slick over their area, and you see that kind of flatten out in amongst the ripple of the wind. And apparently, looks like the bait cloud did the same thing. Right where I cast, obviously the bait cloud would have dissipated after a couple of minutes, but it just left this big flat spot in the ripple. So it's kind of neat to know that once that's come up, that you got that big flat area, so everything's doing its job and it's working out there. Just need to translate that into a bite. Here's hoping. I think I got all the traps set, just a matter of waiting for a fish to come through. So I've wandered over to Peg 13 with Jacob and Stacy, and Jacob's getting a little bit testy. Just a little bit. His bobbin's just up and down, real slow, the odd little beep. This is an anxious angler right here. Really, really hoping it'll just scream off. Right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh, there, see, it's just lifting up, but no beep that time. We're watching the line too. The line's actually lifting up and tightening and then slacking off, but it's never moving more than say a half an inch. It's hard to say what's going on. I'm convinced it's a catfish. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good drop. Something's happening. Hopefully it'll scream off. Now. Well, we'll keep watching it. We'll let you know if something happens. Yeah, it dropped like another half inch.
I think like the fish are just missing.
I think they're messing with you. I think they're like, he's got his notebook. Let's really screw with his mind. He's gonna write notes and be like, oh, I got a bite. Oh, wait, no, I don't. There's a little bit of a quicker jump, eh? And it stops, eh? It just sits there.
Take out on all the duck from everything. Just get that out and take going, and see that all that's going to be left is my knees. I have no choice but to crush it.
There's got to be a liner, man. If they were actually picking up your line, I think they'd get hooked right away.
Well, at least they're in the air,
yeah. Yeah, that's a good sign. They're in close. Well, time for another update. It's just a little bit after 3. So for a little stretch there, as I'm sure I've already shown you a clip of, Jacob over there had his bobbin just kind of up and down a little bit. And then after about 20 minutes of sitting there watching his bobbin do that with no real take, you know, he checked his line, there was nothing there. Just as I'm getting my butt up off the rocks to come over and check out what's going on, I get a slamming, you know, bobbin jump and nothing. That was on the 18 mil boilie. So it was nice that something took it, but didn't take it enough to get stung. So since we're winding down to the last stretch, the wind has really picked up and it's coming from behind us. So I think the wind is probably playing a factor in why these fish aren't rising out in front of us like they did the last spring when we were here. I think they might be staying out a little bit deeper and maybe didn't come into the shallows in any kind of great numbers. It's hard to say. It's still anybody's game. You know, you can catch right up to the last minute. So still got a fair bit of time. What I've done though is, you know, I'm still using the little PVA bag with the, you know, either the ground bait or a bit of bait cloud in there. You know, it just opens up a big slick so I can definitely see where I'm fishing. It helps me put some boilies over the top. And I think that's what's going to keep them grubbing around, looking for that scent cloud, digging around in the rocks and the mud for the ground bait. I'll have to see if they really come in any kind of groups. Now the hook bait I've got out there is 4 pieces of maize soaked in the WCB corn booster. Figured change of tactics. You know, the puff boys down over there, the ones that use the puffs all the time. Our friendly rivalry that we've got going on. Some of them have actually taken the puff off and are using boilie or corn. And the way I look at it is if the puff boys take the puff off, then the boys got to take the boilie off. Change of tactics. You know, if our primary techniques aren't working, got to think outside the box, do something different. And since there is different particles that I put out in my ground bait, like corn and chickpeas and things like that, you know, you utilize my options, and I've got 4 pieces of maize out. So we'll see. I'll try that for about 45 minutes, and then maybe the last 45 minutes of the session, you never know, you know, just try a bright orange pop-up or something. Hard to say. Anybody's game. Well, not really. Rick and his son over at the other end are kind of crushing everybody today, but you know, that's 2 beauty fish caught. Caught them early. It's good to see. Glad that people are catching for sure. But, if I get a 30-pounder, that'll throw everything out of whack, won't it? Well, we're inside the last hour of the day. It's still slow. Still no fish caught since this morning when they got them over there in Peg 2. So everybody started the great pack up. I'd say looks like probably 3 or 4 people have already actually left. You know, bivvies are coming down. Things are getting packed up. I've packed up most of my gear already. But you know me, put fish right to the end. They're throwing what's left of their bait out there. Just kind of, nobody wants to take home stuff. So all the seagulls are moving around, so you never know. There's still a good chance. I've actually taken a long bomb cast to the far side of my baited area. See if maybe that produces. You know, even Jacob right next to me hasn't had a touch in a while. He's done a longer cast as well. You know, we had no activity after that, you know, little rush of 20 minutes where we had some bumps and nothing. You know, it's still been a great day. Great to get out with everybody. You know, meet some new people, new anglers that are going to hang out with us hopefully at other events as well. Yeah, overall, a good day. You know, I did everything that I'm confident in. You know, I think it's just I think today was the wind. You know, kept the fish a little bit further than we were fishing, or slightly off of where we were. I know they've come through, but yeah, I think there's some other factor. I'm confident in my technique and the bait that we put out. So yeah, good day, good tactics. Always a fun day with the Carp Club. So if anything happens in the next hour, or I guess 45 minutes now, you will see it. If nothing happens in the next 45 minutes, we will fade to black.